All right. The left-wing media is going psycho today over Paul Manafort being exposed as having lied to Mueller. What a shocking surprise. But that's the whole point. It's not a shocking surprise. And yet the left-wing media, time and time and time and time again, over and over, keep saying, "Oh, we're shocked, we're mortified. Oh man, what do we do? How does Mueller proceed in a trial without a witness?" Oh man. That's why there's a commercial that plays on MSNBC, and I'm pretty sure it's a joke commercial put in by Republicans. I don't know why they're bothering on MSNBC. They honestly think they're going to get Democrats. But note, I am neither party. I am anti-party, if you're listening for the first time and you haven't done your research on who I am. The Constitution says no parties. We are not to be a socialist republic. That is party government. That is communism, as it's been labeled after the Constitution was written. We are to be a constitutional republic. And so what is frustrating me over the liberal media is they're like, oh, what do we do now? Oh, this new document from the Guardian, the new report from the Guardian says that Manafort was meeting with Assange, and oh, we don't have that confirmed. And we don't know what Mueller knows. Yes, we do. We know that Mueller has seized the Deuche Bank documents for Trump. We know that. He did that. We know that Mueller has Trump's tax records. We know this. We know that Trump has Trump's business records. We know this. We know Mueller has Michael Cohen's records, which included the LLC accounts where the Stormy Daniels and the Playboy model were paid off from, among others. We know this. When you're making a case of corruption, a case of conspiracy, you go follow the money. Mueller's done that. They all do that if they're doing a legitimate case, rather than a witch hunt, as was the case with me. They wanted to silence me because I was protesting to have my right to petition for a redress of grievances regarding the kidnapping of my kids, which is no longer a crime, and thus I can't petition because it's not a crime to kidnap kids. Sorry. But that's a different story. So we know Mueller has all the documentation, all the evidence. He knows who's been funneling money through the LLCs, who's been putting money into the Deuche Bank account. He knows that there has been conspiracy. Manafort, on his charging documents, or on the sentencing documents, he pled guilty to conspiracy against the United States. So I don't understand why the left-wing media doesn't get this. They're not putting all the pieces together. Mueller knows Trump is a criminal. He has all the dots connected through the financial records. And so it doesn't make any sense to me Maybe Mueller isn't looking at the voting fraud that took place. Maybe that's not part of his investigation. And so maybe that's why he's not pursuing removing Trump as an illegitimate president. That's the only thing I can think of. Because Mueller would know that the voting machines in certain key states, if not more, were tampered with, altered, changed, and deleted. We know this. Georgia, for example, Kemp. That's what he did in 2016. He was in charge of the voting machines, just like he was in 2018. And we know he disregarded the FBI warning about Russian interference on the machines. And then he covered it up, even though people were complaining that their votes had gone missing. And then you have 52% of women voting for Trump. Huh? Have you guys forgotten about the Access Hollywood tape? Women are very sensitive. I know that we've gone through an era of the 80s of Fatal Attraction and what was the other one? Sharon Stone. Basic Instinct. And then we moved into rougher movies. I'm not sure when, but what was going on in the 90s. But then we get into the 50 Shades of Grey, and now everybody's into the hardcore bondage stuff with the safe word that now is the popular joke. So wake up, left-wing media. All you're doing is trying to scare Democrats. You're threatening Democrats. And by threatening Democrats, which you did in the 2018 election, you have to vote Democrats, otherwise we're all doomed. Yes, we're all doomed, but we need more options than putting in Democrats, because it's going to take forever to go through the impeachment process. Trump will be continually in office with this investigation with Mueller. He's still in office. He's getting worse, just like I warned everybody. We needed to remove him immediately last year when I told you guys about him. I even did a book before the presidential election that nobody checked out, where I pointed out that Trump was splitting the Republican Party, and therefore I thought that Hillary would win. What I didn't count on is that it was all a show by the Republicans to elevate Trump. So yeah, Republicans have turned out to be the greatest force of evil that this world has ever known. Sargon the First being the first great evil that this world has ever known. If you don't know Sargon the First, Google him. Wikipedia covers some of the basics. They don't cover all of it. So, come on, people. Left-wing media, stop it. Stop giving us false hope. You know, it's just dragging things on. That's all this is. This is going to take years. And Trump is just going to get worse, and he's going to get more violent, more aggressive. You know, he's meeting with Putin again this weekend. And so again, we're going to have a press conference with both of them saying, "We rule the world." And Putin is saying, "I am the imperial leader, and this is my Padawan learner, Trump." Star Wars references, if you haven't caught on. So, oh no, some problems here. So I'm going to end this video with my frustration with the left-wing media. You know, give us news, people. You know, the commercial I was talking about, they try to claim, "Oh, I only listen to news from social media." And the other guy, the white guy, an older white guy, is saying, "I only listen to news I like." You can't pick and choose what news you like. That's not supposed to be news. News is facts. News is actual documented reports of what's going on currently. You know, everything else is not news. The panels, the discussions, the interviews of unrelated people. You know, MSNBC today, I can't remember her name, she celebrated a milestone working for the company, or working as a reporter or anchor person for the last who knows how many years, but she had on a pro-Trump published author who came out with a new book. First of all, what are you doing with Republicans on your shows, MSNBC? Are you turning Republican? Are you thinking you're being fair and balanced by giving opinion pieces of the other view? That's not news. News is not based on opinions. News is based on facts. And so all these breaking news stories of Trump might do this, Manafort might do that, that's not news. That's speculation. So cut it out. And then, yes, if you're a Republican watching this, you notice I didn't talk about the right-wing media. I have nothing good to say about the right-wing media. And as you can tell, I'm not happy with left-wing media either. Again, I'm anti-party. News is supposed to be independent of party affiliation. It is not supposed to cater to a party. They are not news if they're doing that. So, you guys are abusing the freedom of the press that's in the Constitution. Constitution is to protect news, not protect commentary. You cannot protect hate speech, lies, and deception. Those are not protected under the Constitution because they violate other people's rights. So cut it out and get back to the news.